Good morning, everybody, and a very, very happy Easter. A few things I wanted to talk about this week. First of all, big shout out. Thank you very much indeed to those people, you know who you are, who've been helping us interview our returners. It's been incredibly helpful for you to invest your time. And I know the returners would like me to say a big thank you on their behalf. And thank you for your feedback. It's been detailed, it's been instructive. You've really put thought into helping them understand how they can better project their skill set and experience. So that's been incredibly helpful. And thank you to all the other people who've stepped forward to help us during April and May. The second thing, conversations about hiring. Well, obviously, I am, had to be. It's a very sensitive time at the moment, but I have had some good conversations in the last 10 days with clients outside the UK, particularly in the Middle East, and it does feel like things are lifting there a little bit, not so much around social distancing, but more around the thinking and planning about hiring needs for the back end of this year and for the beginning of next year. And I know this is pushing things out a long way, but at least the conversations are starting to happen and people are thinking about planning. The other thing I think has been incredibly heartening about our industry is that as an industry, we don't seem to have been paralysed by fear of all this uncertainty and ambiguity. We've seen so many organisations come together in partnership to create volunteering programmes and to collaborate with other services that they can offer, and with not necessarily with a sort of commercial outcome for anybody, and that feels incredibly powerful, and it makes me think why we haven't all collaborated much more in the past for the greater good. But I think our sector is one that has not been scared to think upside down, to think laterally, to think creatively, and to really, really, really all pull together. And certainly other sectors seem to be much more sort of paralysed by the fear of doing things a little bit differently. So I think, great creative services sector in the UK has always been one of, if not the best in the world. And I think we're really sort of leading the way at the moment on partnerships and collaborations, and let's hope we can do an awful lot more. The BME community, as most of you will know, I do a lot around diversity and inclusion through BAME 2020 and working with Adrian Walcott and obviously with Liz Nottingham on our returners programme. But one of the figures that's struck me this week as they start to splice and dice the stats around coronavirus and which communities it seems to be, attacking. And I know it's attacking everybody, but there are some communities that where the outcome stats are far, far worse. And 35% of, I think, every 2,000 in the BME community are not making it through. And it just struck me that the work that we've all been doing around diversity and inclusion in the marketing and comms sector over the last 10 years, we've made some quite dramatic changes, but there's so much more work to do. I know my own business, when we first set up 16 years ago, we were seeing about 6%, 7% of people from Black, Asian, minority ethnic background. And we've really put our shoulder to the wheel on this and worked incredibly hard to change that and to influence more people from the Black, Asian, minority ethnic community to come into the marketing and comms sector and to keep them in the sector right the way to the very top jobs. And we're now seeing 21% are on a regular basis, and 35% of the people that contract through us are from a BME background. That's a lot to celebrate, and I know that there are so many organisations that are doing so much work in this space in the marketing services sector. But what we have to do is make sure we carry on this work when we come out of this. And again, I've spoken to a lot of people that work in the D&I sector in the last couple of weeks, and we're all absolutely unanimous that that is one area that we absolutely have to keep our focus and our foot on the accelerator on. So the Advertising Association are going to be launching something called the Inclusion Hub, and it's going to be launched at the end of April. I don't have the exact web address at the moment for you, but I'll keep you updated. And it's going to be a hub that you can visit for all inclusion and diversity projects that are going on across the whole creative services industry. And I think it will be an amazing hub for us all to have access to, but I'll come back to that later on. And then my final sort of parting comment, I read, it's not my quote, it's somebody else's quote, but I just thought it was really, really good, which is, the future is ours to make. And I think in this sector, more than any other sector, we've worked through ambiguity, we've worked through loads and loads of downturns in the last 25 years. We're really good at bouncing back, and we just might have to think a hell of a lot more laterally about the way our businesses work. And there'll be new businesses that are going to emerge in our sector that don't even exist at the moment. So I guess we all need to think a bit like entrepreneurs at the moment. But have a great Easter, and I'll be back in touch shortly. Bye.